Hey guys, and welcome to the video. It's been a while since I've been in front of a camera, so if I stuff up a bit, apologize. Uh, all my recent videos have all been like montages and stuff. I think it's been like a year or something before I've actually been back in front of the camera to record some different kind of content. So, talking about different content, today's content is a bit different. I've been thinking about doing it for a while. It's going to be like a overview guide of the 5 different roles in League of Legends. So we'll have top lane, jungle, mid, AD carry, and support. There'll be 5 different videos though. So today we're starting with top lane, then we'll go jungle, mid, AD carry, and support. So keep an eye out for those videos. So just what to expect, we're just going to go over the pros, cons, why I would think you would enjoy playing top lane. And stuff like that, so we'll get straight into it. First of all, we'll go over what is top lane. So obviously top lane is the role situated at the top of the Summoner's Rift. Again, this video will have parts where it's aimed at really new players and also parts where it's aimed at the, medium tier players. If you're like Diamond or even Plat, Diamond, etc., you're probably not going to get much help out of this video, but obviously aiming at the newer players in League. So anyway, top lane is the role situated at the top of Summoner's Rift. The role has a lot of champion diversity at the moment, so probably the most alongside mid lane. Obviously that means you can play different styles like tank, bruiser, even there's like AD carries. I know Huni plays Lucian, but obviously that's a bit niche pick. Mages, anything really can be played top, so it's got a very big diversity, which can be a bit overwhelming for some players. Obviously due to the large amount of champions that you can play, top lane can fill many roles within a team comp. Some of this video will also be aimed at like team comps, and that's just because I've been playing Iron to Gold, so I'm kind of in that mindset already, so most things are going to relate to that as well. But yeah, they're just a very basic overview of what top lane is. So we'll go to the next slide. Discussion pog. So we'll just go over the pros for top lane. Obviously top lane has a large diversity, meaning the individual player can select from a large pool of champions. I don't recommend playing every single champion, but it can be a very attractive thing that there's a lot of different champions that I can play and a lot of different styles of gameplay, so I don't get bored and stuff. I know that can attract a lot of players, so that's probably a pro here. Another pro is top lane is a solo lane, meaning players can benefit because they feel in control of their own gameplay. Like, it's not like AD carry or support where you are obviously relying or depending on another player, and obviously that whole thought process of I have to have a good support to win the game is not exactly true, or I need to have a good AD carry to win the game isn't exactly true, but top lane is a very like 1v1 kind of lane. Obviously you have your jungle, but every lane has a jungle, every team has a jungle, so I'm not going to really go into that kind of topic because I really think that's misleading and shouldn't really be in these videos. But anyway, top lane also has with its large champion pool, it has a very wide selection. So you have like your low mechanical champions like Garen, etc. like that. Garen, even Alawi and stuff like that. They're pretty low mechanical champions. And then obviously you have your other end, which is like Fiora, Irelia, Riven, all that kind of fun stuff, I guess. So there's different ends of the spectrum, and that's, I guess, a good thing for new players. You can pick these basic champions and still be effective in the role. You don't have to go all out and play Irelia, Riven, Fiora, and just playing those champions at a silver level wouldn't exactly be that much fun, I wouldn't say. Another positive, the low mechanical champions, is that you can focus on other aspects of the game. So obviously if you're worried about mechanics, you're going to be focusing less on other key aspects of League of Legends. So wave management, laning, last hitting, all these basic things add up. Warding, all this stuff adds up. Like if you're focusing on comboing with Riven or comboing with Irelia, etc., you're going to be lacking the focus in these other areas. You can't just, if you're a silver gold player, you can't expect to be focusing on, you're obviously not challenger, right? So you're going to be focusing, your focus isn't going to be wide enough to focus on every single thing. Otherwise you would be challenger. I'm sorry, but it's true. If you're gold, yeah, you just got to focus on key elements of the game, I believe. Anyway, again, top lane is an easy role to understand. Like I said, it has easy aspects to it, as in you can play easy champions. Probably some of the basic champions in League of Legends. It's a really forgiving role because there's a lot of HP. Like you have a lot of HP, they have a lot of HP, so it's kind of really forgiving in aspects of like that way. But again, it is hard to master. It has aspects of like TPing, wave management isn't exactly the easiest thing in League. Learning a lot of matchups and that kind of stuff. So I would say it's probably the easiest role in the game, but obviously any role in League is hard to master, but top lane does have a very unique set of skills to master the role. Cons. Okay, moving on to the cons. Top laners struggle to impact the game in a positive way. What I mean by that is depending on your knowledge. So like, if you force a TP play because you see the pros do it and you lose tower plays or tower, that's not worth it. It doesn't matter that you got 2 kills bot lane, it's just not worth. You're now putting yourself in a very negative spot. You're putting your team in a negative spot. Now, they have a very strong side of the map. You have a side of the map. So you're ahead bot lane, but their top laner is that far ahead that he doesn't need his jungler to basically 2v1. So it's pretty rough. Just like stuff like that, it's hard. And then again, if you're ahead, if you solo kill your top laner, say in a 1v1, maybe you don't get the plays because they're not going to like TP bot or anything, but say you solo kill, it's hard to push that lead without TPing out of your lane. But if you TP at the wrong times, you're going to end up like losing that lead, if that makes sense. So I guess it's pretty hard in the way of trying to impact the map, like with your leads or even trying to get leads in the first place. The meta can sometimes feel very demanding. I've got another dot point here that kind of links to this. I think it's the matchups one, yeah. So obviously top lane has a large diversity of champions, so every meta change, you're going to have to learn matchups, you're going to have to learn, is Garen good against Irelia, is all this kind of stuff, especially when you look at the popular champs that you're going to see in solo queue or rank 5s. So yeah, you just gotta keep your eye on those patch notes. Would feel demanding trying to learn all the matchups, I suppose. Especially as a new player, because there's so many damn champions in the game, and a lot of them can play top lane. Another con is often one mistake can force you into an awkward position. Although, like I said before, it's hard for top laners to force to push their leads, because you have so much HP, because you can play defensive, and generally you should be safe. They shouldn't be able to, if they solo kill you once, they shouldn't be able to solo kill you again unless you mess up big time. Obviously that can come down to wave management and stuff like that, but like it can force you into an awkward position where you have to tell yourself, I can't fight, I have to play defensive, I have to play passive, and that can lead to some boring gameplay, I'm not gonna lie. But at the same time, it depends why you're playing League. If you're playing League to have fun and just fight, or if you're playing League to win, there's two different ways to play the game, I suppose. Also, if you're a player that loves doing DPS and carrying team fights in the DPS way, top lane isn't the role for you, because yes, they have versatility, like I said before, they do have some DPS characters up there, but at the same time, a lot of the champions and a lot of I would say if you're between iron to gold, a lot of the champions you will be looking at playing shouldn't be those high mechanical DPS players. You should be looking at like just simple champions so you can focus on other aspects of the game, like I said earlier. And yeah, if you're a player that wants to be like, give me the ball, I'm going to carry this game, then I don't believe top lane is your role, but who knows, you could have something spicy, I suppose. Is top lane your role? So Do you like a slugfest? I use slugfest here because it's like high HP brawls, so you're brawling, but you should have enough time to run away before you die. Um, unless you obviously. So let's say just for example, right, mid lane, right, you're trading, um, and then you go into that like brawling kind of stage where it's like you're kind of committed to the trade, right? You're committed to the fight. So now you're obviously your brain is constantly thinking, can I win this? Like when your HP drops, when their HP drops by 100, you're like, can I win this? Okay, now I've dropped by 200. He's got positive 100 over me. Can I win this? Do I have enough DPS? With top lane, that can be a lot easier to, like, you have a lot more time to be like, shit, I can't win this, I need to back out. Whereas in other lanes, it can be very punishing if you make that first wrong decision, because there's a lot more burst, there's a lot more DPS, and obviously less HP. So if you like long trades and long fights, then top lane is probably the best role for you, to be honest. Do you like engaging fights in a 5v5? So obviously a Dragon or Baron, if you play like Gnar and stuff, you are, or Kennen, even Kennen, I know he does a bit of damage, so that kind of, I guess if you want to play damage, but like if you like engaging 5v5 fights, top lane is the perfect, like I would say it's the perfect role. Obviously jungle engages a lot of fights these days, but and support as well, depending on the champion obviously, but top lane historically has been the engage role. So you have your Gnars, your Kennens, who else is there? Even when Nautilus was top, like even the Volibear thing that's been going around in solo queue where you just prop Righteous Glory and run in there like a, yeah, like that's all you're engaged. So if you like engaging these 5v5 fights, then top lane's probably your best bet. And also, people underestimate a good engage. A good engage can win you a fight, even though you're a tank Ornn. Say you're playing Ornn, right, and you hit a 5-man like Ornn ult, like you might not do damage, but that just set up your team to win that game and like get you the LP or get you the W. So there's different aspects to League, and if you like engaging, then top lane's probably your role. Can you play slow to allow yourself and your team the best chance of winning? Now this is a big one. I see a lot of top laners int. Like, I'm not talking about my team top laner, so don't stress, Wicked. It's not all about you, man. But like just top laners, I feel like they're so selfish. I guess selfish is a way. That's what it feels like. I don't know what they actually think, but looking in, I think they're very selfish. You've got some of the highest HP champions in the role, like in the game, playing top. But they just die. They just keep on dying. It's like, but then even if they're ahead, they can throw because they try to die. They try to tower dive and they try to just do some funky stuff. They cannot play slow and wait for their spikes. Either they don't know where their spikes are and they don't know like their strength for their champion, but the ability to play slow is actually so underrated. If you fall behind and you can't play slow, well, it's game over, isn't it? So that's something you should be trying to learn. So if you can play slow, then top lane is like a good role for you, because top lane is a very, alright, I lost a 1v1, I'm going to play slow, I'm going to wait for that dragon fight, I'm going to farm my minions and get my items, and then dragon, I'm just going to engage the fight and we're going to win the game. That's how top lane can work if you fall behind, but if you don't have that, like, I guess, red light in the back of your head that's like flashing when you're like, I can't win this 1v1 now, then obviously top lane's probably not the best role for you because you're just going to end. So, yikes. Anyway, do you enjoy playing different styles of champions? Even though I'm saying this, I do only recommend staying with like 4-3 champions if you want to climb. Even in a team environment, you shouldn't have to go over 4 champions. You should be able to find comps that play around 4 champs and can be irreplaceable with each other. It's not that difficult. Obviously, it can be hard if you're trying to get your whole team to have irreplaceable champs. So like you replace the champ with this in this situation, because it can change the way comps work. But for the most part, I'd say sticking to 4 champs. Even though there's a huge style of champs, I'm not saying pick 4 tanks. I'm saying you could play like Ornn, a Mordekaiser, Kennen. Like, so you got your 2 engage, you got your AP like carry, I guess, Mordekaiser, and then you could play something like, I don't know, Volibear, anything like that. Anything if like Darius, Garen, those kind of champs. If you're interested in them, like, I'd say keep your, even though there's a lot of styles, keep your champ pool small. So it's kind of like, if you will enjoy playing a lot of styles, obviously top lane's good for you, but I do recommend only keeping your champ pool to like 4, even 5 if you have enough time on your hands. Do you enjoy the more chest side of League? Now this is a bit interesting, and I feel like people will have a few questions about this. Yes, top lane isn't that, like, I'd say jungle's obviously the role that represents like chess the most. It's very methodical in the way you move around the map and stuff. Top lane has that aspect though with TP and stuff, but that comes later. So this point can be probably interpreted later on. If you're bronze, I wouldn't be worrying about this at all. But if you're like, I'd say gold, you're starting to learn about TP players, etc., then this is where the chess side of League comes into it, the macro side. So if you enjoy learning advanced macro with TP and stuff, then top lane is obviously a good role for you to get into, because eventually you will transition your like learning into that as well. Some tips for improving at top lane. Watch some high elo streamers, some content creators, and not the bloody meme ones. How many people do you see that are like, I watch Tyler1? Now Tyler1 is decent at the game, I'm not gonna lie, but he tilts. Like, you're not learning anything. When he's winning, he's stomping. When he's losing, he's losing. Like, yes, he's high elo, but you're not really learning much. I'm talking about like content creators. I don't really know many for top lane, because a lot of the good ones turned into like memes. Like, I know Solo Rankin only is pretty good in his thought process, but obviously he plays like the carry champs. You'd be able to find some. I might even try and look for some to link in the comments or the description of this video. But yeah, just if you're gonna watch the meme ones, that's cool. Like, obviously they're entertaining to watch, and that's like why you want to watch them. But if you want to get better at League, then try and find the players that are like there to help you, basically. Again, lessen your champ pool. To keep it enjoyable, aim for 4 champs with different styles. So again, that's what I just said before. Just keep your champ pool small if you're trying to get better at the game. Obviously, if you're just having fun at playing League, then by all means, just go heckers. But if you're in like a team environment where everyone's expecting you to do well, or like you feel like you're letting your team down, just lessen that champ pool and focus on 4 champs. Just don't play anything else. Just play 4 champs, learn all the matchups and everything about that champ, and you probably climb. I'd say if you stuck to 4 to 3, even if you stuck to 3 champs, you'd climb an entire like division. So if you're bronze, you'd probably end up silver. If you're silver, you'd end up gold. If you're gold, you might get to plat. That one would be the harder one. But obviously, if you play less champs, you learn more about those champs, because yeah, get more game time on them. Again, if playing in a team environment, communicate with the team about certain champs. So like that, what I mean by that is, I mean, maybe my top laner asks me, oh, what do you think about Akali after the nerfs? And I'll be like, oh, I think she's okay, but I wouldn't say she's top. I wouldn't say she's top 4 top laners. I wouldn't say she's top 10 top laners at the moment. But like just stuff like that. You can, if you have like a team member that used to play the role you're learning, it's like, all right, well, what champs do you reckon is strong? What playstyle do you reckon is strong? But don't take it like you must do it. That is the worst thing you can do in League. Always do your own research. Always. I'll never forget, I used to play jungle, and I used to be told how to play jungle by my mid laner that used to play jungle before I played jungle. And I didn't do my own research. And I'll tell you, I was bad. And then I started watching Foxdrop at the time. This is obviously a few seasons ago when he did really good informative videos. And I got better and better and better and better and better. And then eventually I became better than my mid laner. So what I'm saying is, yes, your team has they're trying to help you, but it is always good to go outside the team and try and find other means of doing like research instead of just relying on people to tell you, if you know what I mean. They may think, your teammates may think that they know a lot, but they probably don't. Not to be rude, if you ask me about certain stuff, I'll be honest and I'll be like, I don't really know, because I don't. If you're an aspiring mid laner, I'll still tell you I don't. I know I can give you a basic rundown. I can't give you in-depth analysis. Can't say that word, of the game itself. I'm probably high gold mid laner. So what am I? Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I'm not challenger. If you want to improve this game, you watch the best. You don't listen to someone in gold. Simple. Again, I know that's probably why are you watching this guide then if you're only gold 1? But this guide is more of an overview of, I feel like a lot of the tips for improving and stuff is an overview. It's this is what you should be doing. If you're not doing this, then you're not going to improve. This can be aimed at everyone. This could be aimed at someone in plat who just has no idea how to get to that next step. Do you know what I mean? Okay. Anyway, focus on the fundamentals before trying to learn the harder parts to learn. Like I said before, you want to focus on your last hitting, your warding, your wave management. Wave management is a bit hard, but focus on those key parts before you go into I need a TP bot and get a 3v2 play going on, and then I need to go back top and I need to do it at the perfect time. So then, it's never going to happen until you get that understanding. Otherwise, you're just going to lose so much out of it. So I think that's the end of this video. Yeah. Thanks for watching. I know it's a bit weird, going over a PowerPoint on a YouTube video, but it was just interesting. I was pretty bored today, so I decided to make something. Hopefully it helps someone out. I'm hoping it also helps. Shout out to my top laner for TRS, Wicked out. That's probably why I made it, why I came up with this series. I just want to help people out, and I know I'm not the best player, but I have a ton of, I wouldn't say knowledge, but knowledge not about the game, but more so about what you should and shouldn't be doing to improve. Like I said, I went from basically hard start bronze 4 to plat in last season before, to now gold 1. So yeah, just like I say, I'm not the best, so take everything I say. I don't think I went over anything in depth, you must be doing this, you must be doing that. It's pretty wide, and again, it was for the newer players, not exactly your plat players. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Enjoy.